Hi everyone, Farmington Mayor Nate Duckett. Thanks for joining us today for today's episode of the Mayor's Table. We're at Three Rivers Brewstillery with Shauna Reeves, and we're talking about outdoor recreation and plans for community transformation. Happy mid-February, everyone. Farmington Mayor Nate Duckett here for our newest episode of the Mayor's Table. Joining me is always one of our favorite guests on the show and one of the originators, really, of the Mayor's Table stuff. Back when Mayor Roberts was here. Shauna Reeves, Director of Community. You're the Director of Community.
It could be, yep.
Yeah, Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs. So,
Morning,
thanks for
Mayor.
joining us.
Yep, absolutely. Good morning, everyone.
We're here at the Brewstillery, the Three Rivers Brewstillery, downtown Farmington. And so everybody knows, we've been really touting this year the downtown during our construction period to make sure that we're putting eyes and helping support those businesses that are really vital to the downtown economy and the environment here. Certainly Three Rivers. I think we have a block of Three Rivers now.
We call it the Three Rivers block.
Done a fantastic job, and each one of these businesses that are here, whether it's the main Three Rivers restaurant or it's the pizzeria, and now the Brewstillery and the tap room, you've got all these different places to go, no matter who you are, what you want to get out of it. It's really kind of unique, and it's a special place, and we're excited to be here. I didn't know this. I learned some things today. So some of the amenities and things that are in here were repurposed from construction supply.
Yeah, it was really exciting. When I first started interacting with Three Rivers, I was actually up at City Hall with Rob and Mayor Roberts, and when they built the Brewstillery, I got to watch it from the concept to build, and what I loved about it is the old construction supply played a huge role. I mean, they've basically repurposed everything in there.
The tables that are in here, I believe some of the roof materials has been used on the wall.
Yes. The ammunition boxes that we're sitting on.
Ammunition boxes, yes.
They're very cool.
So it's a very unique setting in Farmington, and definitely one worth checking out. And I know they obviously brew and distill their own. Well, they brew their own beer. They distill their own spirits, and I think they have some really unique appetizers, if I remember correctly. So.
And a favorite here, I'll tell you, if you haven't tried the noodles, if you haven't tried ramen here, you got to try it. Yeah, it took me a while to try because I thought ramen. What is ramen? But it's really great. It's a local favorite.
It's good to know. But great historic place and a good setting for us to kind of talk about things that are going on in Parks and Recreation. Obviously, we have the Community Transformation and Economic Diversification Fund that we began at the beginning of, it's 2018, 2019.
Absolutely.
2019. We're already in 2020. That's where I get confused. So we've done a lot of things with that fund to this point, but we've spoken kind of at length about river trails and zip lines, and I kind of wanted to get everybody kind of up to date. We just had a great meeting where council was allowed to prioritize some of these things and get some updates on where they're at, and I thought nobody better than you to come here today and kind of bring that to the forefront for our viewers. So I want to talk about river trails. The Animas River Corridor, to me, is kind of the key to the outdoor recreation opportunities that exist in Farmington. So much potential lives there for the enhancement of our quality of life, the health of the community, and opportunities for new businesses to open up and utilize that place.
Absolutely.
So we've kicked off in fall of September 2019, really, some updates to the river. Maybe you can give us an
Absolutely. Well, Mayor, I think you are right. It is a gym in our community, and I think one that people are very proud of, and it's heavily used. I know a lot of people use the river for many things. So whether you're out there walking your dog, you're out there on a bicycle, you're jogging for your first 5K, whatever you're doing, it's heavily used. And so you and the council have made it a priority to do some connectivity.
Sure.
So we're going to add some more mileage to the trails. So there's two parts to that, and one of them is the development of the Among the Waters Trail. And that's very exciting. We affectionately put that trail into 3/3 of a trail, and so the first third has been surveyed and cleared and bladed. The second third of the trail is being surveyed right now. There's a lot of elevation changes in that second, some retaining walls, 2 bridges, so that's a very critical.
Give us an idea, that first third, and when you say among the waters, a lot of folks may not know where
They
Among
don't
the
know where
Waters
that is.
So
Not yet.
where is Among the Waters at?
So the trail ends on Murray, and I have to walk myself back, but it starts over kind of down, do you know where the waste management headquarters is down in that area? It's literally the turn right before that. I'm not doing a very good job of saying that, but
I'm saying Among the Waters, though, doesn't it start near Total Behavioral Health on the Vista Highway?
Yes, and
right?
then
then it goes east, and that's the part that's going to be cutting back towards the Miller Bridge.
That's right.
Correct?
So it goes behind the wastewater treatment plant along that area right there, and it's actually very beautiful back there.
Sure.
So the first third is that. The first third is the Bistye where you're talking about.
The second third goes, is it from Boyd Park?
That's
past
actually
the museum?
No,
Or is that in
that's
the first third?
That's the Animas North Trail Extension. So that's the other connectivity. So Among the Waters ends at Murray. So the Murray Bridge, right there where it ends, and then that connects to the Boyd Park. So that's what that connection is.
All right.
And the third third of the trail, we've surveyed it, and we're getting ready to put lights on that. So we're working with General Services, great team there to work with, and we're
Is that the section that runs along Kenny Kendrick's property?
That is the section that runs
Beautiful
there.
area.
Yep. What a generous way for him to work with the city and provide that access, because it's really stunning down there.
Absolutely. So that's part of that project. The next part then is where we're looking at incorporating the Farmington Museum area
right.
and heading east down all the way to what would be Pinion Hills Extension.
That's right.
In that section. So what council did in this meeting is we actually funded those river trails to be complete, so construction can be done somewhere in 2022.
You did. The exciting part of that is the community will really be able to see on the Animas North Trail Extension, which is what you're talking about, which begins at the Browning Parkway, and it does run east along the river and back behind the museum, back behind the Red Lobster area, Dickey's Barbecue, over to the Pinion Hills Boulevard Extension, where that would be. That they will see immediate impact on, because we're going to do some bank stabilization first there. That's really critical. You know, in the drought year, we saw a lot of deterioration of that bank.
Right.
And then having it followed by a year of flooding, which was just odd to go from drought to a year of flooding and then back now to a drought status. The erosion of the bank was unnerving, and so we're going to you'll see some gabions, and we're going to stabilize that and start the trail there and then build out from there to the connection. So it's really exciting.
That is exciting. How many miles of trail do you anticipate?
It'll add about 10 miles.
Okay.
That's incredible.
And then currently I think within the Berg Park, Animas Park area that is kind of our traditional river trail section, I want to say there's like 8 miles in there, correct?
It's a combination. You know, we do our Riverfest run down there, and we do a 5K, which is 3 miles, and then we do a 10K, which is 3.1 miles, and then a 10K, which is I think 5.2 or 6.1, something like that.
Okay.
Oh, Leslie's going to kill me. But it's there, so you can do loops, you can do just straight lines. There's anywhere from easily 3 to 8
Get
miles.
all Veterans Park in that area.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's
you've
beautiful.
got some really, really gorgeous stuff. All right, so that's river trails. And the next part I want to talk about is pump track. It's been in the newspaper, of course. We received a grant to create a pump track. What is a pump track?
Well, when we started applying for the grant, we asked the same thing, and it's exciting. It is like a skate park for mountain bikers and BMXers. It's cool.
Mountain bikers will argue with you because a pump track is a mountain bike course.
They will argue with us.
So
they will.
But I know what was in the article is that you see this as a combination type place where it's mountain bikes or it's BMX that can utilize it, correct?
I think we do in the case of this because it's a unique opportunity. I mean, we had a $10,000 grant. This is the first of its kind in this community. We're putting it over in the Sycamore Park area. We already had an undeveloped lot there in the south that's currently dirt right now. The exciting part about it is we're going to start it out as a very beginner to intermediate, probably on a 1/4 acre. And the reason for that is it's the first of its kind. We want to make sure we build it correctly for mountain bikers and or BMXers who may use it. We want to get the feel and the flow for how many people use it. And then we're learning how to maintain one.
Sure.
And so it's a great opportunity to be able to expand and increase the intensity of it.
So we do have a BMX track here in Farmington at the old construction supply location, which is open to the public. Many people don't know that, but when that gate is open, it is accessible. You can go in there and utilize the track. So it'd be good for people to know that.
And that was a great community partnership, and how amazing that all those people came together to make that amenity come.
I saw they had bleachers out there now.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So that is a great thing. So the pump track, right now, are we kind of in the design phase of it? Is that where we're at?
We are. We moved from conceptual to design, and then we're going to move to public input sessions at Sycamore Park.
Okay.
For two sets of groups, for really our internal streets and parks ops and people who may be building it, and then really for the community to get their input.
People may ask why on the south side of town when all the mountain biking is on the north side of town. I think what's important there to know is right now the BLM is constructing additional trails and a pump track in the Anasazi Park area. So really it's about accessibility and having that accessibility on the south side of town at Sycamore Park Community Center, which has been a huge asset for this community. I really think it's a smart move on.
I think it was pivotal. It came at the right moment, and because we had, like you said, initially targeted somewhere over in that east end of town, and then knowing that just the BLM was going to do that, we're able to highlight and have amenities spread out for the community. So yeah, I absolutely think you're right on that.
Aqua Park.
That's an exciting possibility.
We had a presentation at this meeting involving wibbits. For people who don't know what a wibbit is, if you've been out to the Farmington beach, the Farmington Lake, and you've seen kind of the water park playground that sits out there, that is a wibbit. That's the name of the company who makes them.
It is, yes.
But the Aqua Park, the idea is they have the capability of connecting in a lot of those wibbits together, making a really fun water park area where the kids and adults alike can both all be out there. Everybody's got to have a life jacket. That would be a change, but something really exciting that I think just adds that additional component to why am I going to go to Farmington?
Right.
If I'm going to go there to shop, well, now guess what? You're going to go to the Bistai Bay Water Park, which we've just added 2 slides to, which will be another grand opening this year for us. You're going to have this. You could have this Aqua Park, zip lines, the aerial adventures that we've been discussing for the past 2 years. We're in negotiations with the company who's interested in making that happen. These are some really exciting components that say, we really believe in outdoor recreation. We want to make this a place where people of all ages can have a great time. I mean, that's really the case. And add into the great retail component that is in existence here already. I think they complement each other dramatically. So the Aqua Park is conversation at this point. There are some other things that go along with that, but it is exciting to be able to talk about it. Zip lines, of course, we're still in that area, but again, being able to take a zip line across Farmington Lake, you can't experience that anywhere around here. So just adds to that. But then the Animas Wave Park. So council did fund for a small amount, kind of the feasibility master plan for Animas Wave Park, and I'll call it that because it's a series of wave amenities. Amenities is a word I probably use too much and too often, but
that's what it is.
That's what it is.
So working in conjunction with the River Reach Foundation and Rick Page and Chris, and forgive me, Chris, if you're out there watching this, I don't remember your last name, but you are an amazing man with an amazing mind. We're going to all work together, and this is an amenity. It's an amenity to our river that allows people to enjoy it. It's not just navigable.
Sure.
It's something that's fun, and it's something that a lot of watercraft things that are on our rivers can do. You can do it if you're in a raft. You can do it if you're in a kayak or a canoe, or if you're on a surfboard. Yes.
That's the thing for me is we've talked a lot about what can you do within 60 minutes of Farmington, and we said you can do everything outdoor recreation related except put a surfboard in the ocean. Well, guess what? Now you can put a surfboard
in a river.
They do have these up in Colorado. They've got a great series of them that go all throughout the state. And I just see this as, again, another opportunity for us to utilize this natural asset that will provide so much fun and experience and bring a good component to this area. I
think a couple of years ago when we opened up Lake Farmington for swimming in the beach area, one of the things that we told the community is that we're in a period of evolution, that Farmington is in a transformative era. And I think that as we continue to do these plans and have these discussions, that we're making good on that promise to our community members, that there are going to be some shifts and changes, but they're all in the positive, and it is the evolution of each one of these amenities. We're starting and we're learning and we're adapting and we're expanding, and it's just going to get more and more exciting.
I completely agree. Now, those are some of the fun things, and there's some other stuff that is also in that conversation, the All Abilities Park. looking at some turf opportunities out at the complex on a softball and baseball field. A lot of those things are going on, but there's also a need to take care of what we have, and that is something I think has really been important in these conversations with the public and with council, is that we have some amazing assets that we really need to take care of. And three that came up in this conversation that really stand out is Pinion Hills Golf Course, Lions Pool, and our recreation center. And making it a priority to ensure that we're not just maintaining those, but we're improving the experience for the users there as well. Pinion Hills Golf Course, it's a how 30 years now. How old is that facility?
1988/89.
And just a gem, right? How many times have we been ranked one of the top municipal golf courses in the country? And it's in need of some love. It's the cart paths need some love. The irrigation
needs some love. Show me the love.
So we definitely have that on the radar for some improvements. Lions Pool, and a very important component of, especially if we're talking about bringing senior citizens and retirees to Farmington. It's a warm water indoor pool. And it's funny, I had a conversation with my pastor the other morning at breakfast. That's where he got certified for scuba diving. I didn't realize that they did that there. So it's important for us to have that plan in place, in my mind, because we don't want to be in a situation where when Brookside went down, we had to have Brookside shut down, and what are we going to do in the interim, because it was such, people loved it. Well, Lions Pool's another one of those things where we've got to put some money probably into this facility and put a long-term plan in for what is the next evolution for what that looks like. So I think that's exciting, and I love the fact that council has made that a priority. The rec center is another one. It's time for some of those things to be updated and put together a long-term plan for maybe what that next thing looks like. But these are things in my mind. A lot of times people ask, how is this really bringing business in, or how are we getting money, our return on investment in these things? And this is a long-term play, and I've used that same conversation when we talk about downtown Farmington. What we're doing here, we're going to look back 10, 20 years from now and go, wow. And just think if this downtown project, for example, would have been started in 2002, and now in 2020 we'd be looking at it. It may look the same, it may be different, but what I see us doing now is going to change the shape of the whole community and how other people around Farmington perceive who we are.
I agree, absolutely. I think sometimes we forget as a community we need to give our own selves a reason to go back and do and participate and enjoy our own amenities. And then when we are doing that, then we say, hey, come into our neighborhood, come see us. And we really are working at being that destination place. And we are starting to get recognition, nationwide recognition. People are talking about Farmington, not just in the state, but in our surrounding states.
It's important for folks to know that the Jolt Our Future 2040 comprehensive plan is going on right now. There's a lot of surveys out there that are available for people. I believe they can find those on the City of Farmington's website, Facebook page. So make sure you're looking for those. Provide your feedback on where this community goes over the next 20 years. Speaking of being a place that's trying to attract others here, obviously what you have going on at the Civic Center is very exciting. I was at a Pink Floyd laser show, and it was almost sold out. And I know Randy was surprised by that, but it just shows that there are components out there in entertainment that people are looking for.
Absolutely.
That we can do here successfully and provide a great experience. This week, I think, is one that's been touted and really talked about a lot, and that's Disaster.
Disaster, yes. Starts Wednesday. Come on out, don't miss this.
We've got tickets to that, and we had tickets to Outrageous, which was great. And I think I'm going to Camelot. So
good for you.
Good for you. Again, one of the areas where we really got to back ourselves up is we have to support the local things that are happening. And you said it a second ago about reinvesting time and energy into what we have here that we can do. And when we have companies that open up that are offering these outdoor services, or when we have an opportunity to see these actors from all over the country, or these different acts come to Farmington, we need to show up as a community and support them. Otherwise, they're not going to stick around. I'm going to call it an experiment, but to some degree it is, because a lot of these things are new.
I think it's incredible though, Mayor, just to touch on that point, I'm going to give some little shout outs here, and I hope these people are watching and listening, but one of the things when Randy started bringing in these acts, I think a lot of people were concerned that our local talent would suffer from that. And we've got people like Paul and Melissa and Georgia, Haley Bassing, Ed Hozemog, Linan Easley at the college. These people have been with us and they've made Sandstone what it is today. And they're an integral part of this. And I think if people could realize what we're doing, I went to Anne and Tess. It was the Heroine song. I attended that. And what stood out in my mind is that not only are we incorporating our local people who are extremely talented in this, but we are giving other kids a chance to learn from people who have been all over the world in these amazing productions, a chance to learn from them, a chance to interact with them, a chance to see that their dream can be a reality. And I think that's what's unique with things like Disaster. The Four Corners Musical Theater Company is putting that on. That's a mix of local talent and people that we are bringing into our community. So we're exposing people to our community. We're bringing up our already amazing and incredible talented local group. And I think that, as it's a learning curve, as we learn what our community wants, we'll continue to expand and give them an idea. But I just want to give a shout out to those people because they're still there and they're still incredible and they're still the backbone of our program. So
I appreciate you doing that.
That's great.
And this summer, of course, Sandstone, we're going to have Mamma Mia, which I think is going to fit perfectly out there at Lions Wilderness Park.
Be nice.
And it's just a great opportunity again for people to come out and enjoy the arts in Farmington.
Yep.
Gridiron Glory.
Gridiron, that's a big one. Go
I'm
football.
excited.
Absolutely.
I hope you are.
I am. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. If you are a football fan and you are going to be sad about the Super Bowl wrapping up, yes, I know Super Bowl.
I'm not happy for the Super Bowl to wrap up.
No,
I want
that's
football
horrible.
to go all year long.
That's
but
right. This will bridge you.
This will bridge me.
This will bridge you. This is the exact exhibit that, to my understanding, spends time in each of the cities of the teams that go to the Super Bowl. So in this case, it'll be in San Francisco and then in Kansas City before it comes to us or when it comes to us. So get out there, see it,
It's here for
enjoy
6 months. I think
Yes.
it's important for people to know it's not a one-day deal.
No.
It is a 6,000 square foot exhibit. It's coming in on 6 semi-trucks or 7 semi-trucks.
6 of them, yes, my word. It's
So,
huge.
this is a lot of interactive opportunity there. And if you love football, this to me, if you're anywhere within the range of making a day trip
That's right.
to Farmington.
This is call your friends and family.
Yes, you've got to bring
Invite
them down and check out. How often do you get Canton, Ohio and Farmington, New Mexico?
Exactly.
I think it's really cool.
Show off our museum. It's incredible.
Last thing I want to touch on is the Inside Out exhibit also that's going to be at Farmington Museum.
It's a big one.
When is that coming?
They're both opening in March, so they're
Okay.
both here. The museum staff is really busy working with some other, again, general services and parks ops, and we're all a great team here, but we are busy putting both those together. You don't want to miss either one of them. They're incredible exhibits, and they'll both be here for a long time through July, so.
Excellent.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't. Just, get involved, get engaged, because we are moving. We're making things happen.
Completely agree. Love the volunteer attitude of this city and the number of people who are being engaged, but we need to spread that and share that and keep that going. And again, we're in downtown Farmington. Make sure you're taking the time
That's
to
right.
come and visit these
Support your
local shops and continue to support them. And
Yeah.
love it.
Go Farmington.
Go Farmington. Well, we appreciate you joining us here on the Mayor's Table. As always, your viewership is important. Please, if you have any questions, concerns, thoughts on what new episodes should look like, reach out to me at nduckett@fmtn.org. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time right here on the Mayor's Table.